Bill Henshaw here again, one of my YouTube update videos on current events. And this one is a bit of a surprise. I had an occasion to have a video referred to me by Anna von Reitz, who I have a lot of respect for, a federal judge up in Alaska. And she was talking about the claim that you can't be a PhD, private attorney general, and state citizen at the same time. And I was puzzled by that. I said, my goodness, that's what I'm claiming. And especially now with my petition with 90 parts, claiming to be a PhD, bringing a class action writ of habeas corpus under Section 35 of the Judiciary Act of 1789, if we need any statutory authority for it. That would be it. Been there, unrepealed, unmodified, nothing. And as state citizens, we're also principals in a principal and agent relationship. This is part of redress of grievance, among other things. And I was surprised when she considered that, a PhD you can't be, because in the 14th Amendment system, you can't represent two different sovereignties, which would be true if the 14th Amendment was ratified. As you'll see from acquiring my material, send me an email, youwinincourt@gmail.com. I utterly destroy the ratification of the 14th Amendment. Violated all 6 articles of the Constitution, doesn't exist. Yet that's the only jurisdiction any of these courts recognize today, quote unquote, state or federal. That's where the problem comes in. Once we get past that, then we can make some real progress. And Ms. von Reitz has been very helpful there. And it's just a misunderstanding of the situation, because what I do when I show up in court and state who I am, I'm staking the claim to the government that should exist, the lawful California government under our Constitution of 1849, and the Constitution for the United States, 1787 to 1791. If you do it later on and invoke the 14th Amendment, you got real trouble. I mean, at the very least, you could get fined for filing specious, frivolous actions and whatever, held in contempt of court. Who knows what the hell they can do? Brand you an unlawful enemy alien. I'm sure they would love to do that to me, but it isn't the way it is. So I say to you, Ms. von Reitz, if you're listening, that's the perspective that I think we need to have, is going in there, with the government that should be there and with no reasonable expectation that it shouldn't be there. If the 14th Amendment, in effect, eliminated all the states, and the way the courts have construed it, that certainly looks like what it did, then the people that ratified the amendment should have been advised of that fact, don't you think? And it comes under the consent of the governed, where I come from, at the very least. And yet that's what's happened. There are no states. They're just gone. There's nothing remotely resembling a state anywhere in sight, not to mention Republican form of government. But this is a great opportunity to let you know out there, the people that don't have the experience that I have and Ms. von Reitz has, you have to keep your perspective always on point here and understand what you're doing and why. And when that happens, you do what I did in Columbia, South Carolina. I walked away from the bastards, and they wanted me real bad, practicing law without a license and threatening their state bar monopoly. Yet I never got close to seeing a jury, because if I did, I'm going to beat them, and I would destroy that monopoly there and in every jurisdiction across the country. That's the kind of power we have. It takes a little time to learn it. It doesn't come overnight. It won't take you 10,000 hours like it did me. I was something of a slow learner. But send me an email, youwinincourt@gmail.com, for information on my document packets, especially the new COVID packet that's in the mix also. And you can not only learn, but you can use these documents to teach your children and your posterity, because they're sure as hell not going to get taught in the mandatory public education system. They didn't teach me anything like that 50 years ago. And you'll get some documents, with the requests that show you the kind of things that if we had known them when we were in high school, 10th grade U.S. history, hell, my life would have been different 50 years ago. And I was right outside of Washington, D.C., wouldn't you know, at the time. And none of this ever came up. The funny and sad part was I was wanting to go to my 50th high school reunion, which was 4 years ago. and have a friendly confrontation with my ex-U.S. history teacher slash football coach. In those days, you did more than one thing, and say, Vince, you missed a few things. He would have got the joke. And they were good teachers back then, but they didn't have the tools either, even at that early. I mean, everything, as far as I'm concerned, cutoff date is 1930. Once FDR and the New Deal gets in there, all of the good stuff in our education goes away, and it never gets taught except maybe to a selected few members, Harvard, Yale, the skull and bones people. So those bastards will know it and know how to attempt to deal with it on the rare occasion they find a kook out there like me that knows it. But, this is a very educational tool for me, and I appreciate the opportunity to explain it to you. And you can learn more. I say, send me an email, unincourt@gmail.com. I'll get you information on my document packets and what I have to offer, which is a lot, and at a very modest price. Remember to like the videos, subscribe, tell your friends, get the word out. We have a window here. We can beat these bastards if enough is out there to do it. Thank you.